Hello everyone, the TSM4 Beta is here and I'm really excited to make this video and share with you guys my first impressions, what I think of the changes, and later in the video I'm going to give you guys some examples of some really neat and interesting ways that you can use the new value sources. Before we dig into this video, I want to quickly cover your options for getting access to the beta for those of you who don't know. So the first option is a free option. You can go here, tradeskillmaster.com/beta, and you can sign up for the beta. Now this has been available now for over a month, and invites are going to be coming out in the order that people signed up for them, and they're going to be coming out in waves. So if you're just signing up for the beta right now, you're going to have to wait a little while before you actually get your invite. So for any of you guys out there who are way too impatient and you don't want to wait for your wave of invites and you have to have TSM4 Beta right now, you can just sign up for premium. This is where you go to sign up for premium, tradeskillmaster.com/premium. It's going to cost you around $2 a month approximately, depending on where in the world you're from. And by having premium, you get a bunch of different perks, and one of those perks is you automatically get access to any betas that are available. So this is one option that you have, and if you're interested in learning about the other features that you have access to, you can find them all explained on this page. Now, signing up for premium is a great way for you guys to say thank you to the team who has been putting in tremendous effort into not only maintaining but continuously improving this add-on based on user feedback. This add-on makes your gold making experience much more enjoyable, and if used properly, you should never have to buy game time again with your real life money. And if you guys want to check your luck, we're going to be giving away tons of beta keys in the form of premium keys on our Twitch stream from now until Christmas, so check us out if you guys want a chance to win. Also, please keep in mind this is a beta. Not everything is implemented yet, and you might come across some things that are broken. Worry not, they will be fixed in priority. Please send your error reports to help them track problems, and it's more helpful if you explain what you did to cause the error. Some things shown in this video may be slightly different than what you see, as things will change throughout the beta until it's ready for live. So let's talk about what's new in TSM4. So the entire add-on has been rewritten from the ground up. It has some significant visual improvements, but has the same overall foundation you are used to with some really awesome added features. The entire UI is simpler and more intuitive for beginners, significantly lowering the barrier to entry for new users, but they also haven't forgotten about the super users, and they've added some crazy features that we'll be talking about a little later in the video. All of your groups, operations, accounting data, everything all transitions over smoothly to TSM4, so you don't have to worry about rebuilding all your groups and doing everything all over again. TSM4 is also going to be able to detect when you phase and will alert you in chat, so you can reopen the auction house and resume what you were doing. So you're not going to need any other add-ons to do that anymore. So as soon as you open your TSM window, you're going to notice right away that there's a brand new gold graph sitting right in front of your face, which is awesome and is going to be highly interactive. It's just not implemented yet, and you no longer have to dig deeper into your options to find how you're doing in terms of sales and profits and all that stuff. So it forces you to be more aware of how you're actually doing in terms of profit. There's also a section here to the left with a TSM news feed to keep you up to date on what's going on. So as soon as you get access to the TSM4 beta, there's two things that you need to do right away. The first is you got to go bind your macro again. So go to settings, and then in macro setup here, you're going to see everything is going to be unchecked as default. So you need to go turn on whatever it is you want to be included in your macro, set however you want this to be down here if you want modifiers or whatnot, and then click your button to make your macro and bind your scroll wheel. The other thing you're going to notice right away is that your tooltips have all been reset back to default. So all you need to do is go down one more step down here to your tooltip options and have a review of what's enabled and turn on anything that you feel like that needs to be turned on. So I personally like to have this turned on. In accounting, I'm pretty happy with how that is. I like historical for my server. Auctioning is absolutely a must, I think, for everybody. Crafting, well, if you're crafting stuff, I think you should have all this stuff on, but it's really up to you what you want. And I think it's pretty good idea to have your shopping stuff on your tooltips as well. So go have a look at your tooltips and turn on whatever it is you want to see on your tooltips when you're hovering over items in your bags. So there's also a new tab that's called My Auctions. So it would have all of your auctions on there, and you can just, have a quick look and see what's going on. You can do a lot of the same stuff that you could do previously, cancel short duration stuff if you want. You can type in a filter. There's still some stuff here that's not entirely it's not all working and not everything is implemented in here, but it'll get there. Just give it some time. The same thing with auctioning, like you can post stuff from groups, but you can't manually post things at, random prices outside of your settings in TSM. So I imagine that's going to be implemented somehow in the future. And the same thing with shopping, like you can shop for something on the auction house, but do sort of like soft resets, and then if you want to just go quickly post something on the auction house after you bought out a few of the cheaper items, you can't actually do that yet in shopping. So I hope they implement that feature, and I think that they are going to be implementing that feature. So don't freak out if everything's not working the way that you want it to work right away in the beta. A lot of stuff is not implemented. Some things they're going to be implementing. Just give it some time. It'll come. So let's have a look at the export-import section. I think this one's pretty exciting because it's going to make life a lot easier for people trying to use my profile. So you can see here there are lots of new options. If it's not abundantly clear, you can import other people's strings and have it strip off the operations if you didn't want them. Also, you can include custom prices with imports and exports, so people are never going to have to worry about making custom prices again, like sheymin, sheynorm, sheymax. So another awesome improvement is the drag and drop feature with groups. Before it was a little more annoying to move groups around. Now it's so clean and easy, and it just looks pretty damn cool. So now it's time to talk a little bit more about this base group idea. This is something new with TSM4, so it's going to be something different you're going to have to get used to. So let's go back and talk about TSM3 for a second. So you remember the quick post from bags option in TSM3. It was okay, but it wasn't really great. It worked for people who didn't want to set up groups or customize anything, which I never really encouraged anyone to use that option. Now with TSM4, they've made this functionality much more meaningful to beginners. It can now be customized, and it's used in a slightly different way. So as soon as you install TSM, there is this base group that you see right here on my screen, and this is what it's going to look like for any of you guys that don't have any groups made whatsoever. And all you need to do is apply a single selling operation, a single buying operation, a crafting operation if you plan on crafting anything, a sniper operation if you plan on sniping, and you're good to go. You don't have to make any more groups if you don't want to, and as a beginner, that's a great way to start. As you get a little bit more involved in TSM and you get a little bit more advanced with your gold making, you might want to down the road start building groups. You can customize very specific things to do very specific things, but this is a great way for a beginner to just load TSM and you're good to go. You just have to make those few operations, and I'm going to have a video coming out once TSM4 is live and we finally know everything that's going to be implemented in this add-on. I'm going to make a video that's very specific to beginners, people who are just loading this add-on, have no idea what they're doing, and they just want to get going with making gold. I'm going to have a video just specifically for people like that. So just hang tight, and it's going to be coming soon. And there's a few more things I want to mention about this base group so you really understand what it is, what it's doing. So it basically has every item which makes sense in the context in which you are using it. So for a post scan, that would be items in your bags. For a cancel scan, it'd be items that you have on the auction house. For shopping, it'd be every item on the auction house. For crafting, it'd be every item that you can craft from your professions. Okay, so let's talk about Sniper. It's much different and better in TSM4, so it's important you understand it if you plan on sniping. So if you are a brand new TSM user and you have absolutely no group set up, you're still good to go with Sniper. All you have to do is apply a sniper operation to your default base group and you're good to go. So I'm told that TSM4 is going to come with some sort of default base sniper setting. I'm not sure what it's going to be. If you don't like what it is, you can just throw Bill's sniper string, the famous sniper string. You can just toss that in there, put it on your base group, and you're good to go. I'm going to have a link to that string in the description of the video, and I'm also going to change it to take out that step where you have to make a custom price, and I'm going to include that custom price in the string. So the string is going to be much longer, but you won't have to do that second step of making a custom price. I'm just going to try to make everything easy for everyone so no one gets confused about stuff anymore. Now, for any of you guys who already have groups set up, you're going to need to apply sniper operations to any of those groups that hold items that you want to see on Sniper. If you don't apply sniper operations to your groups, you'll never see any items from your groups in Sniper. You can simply apply Billis's sniper operation to all of your groups if you wish, or you can make different sniper operations for different groups. That's one of the awesome features, is you can have multiple different kinds of sniping operations applied to different groups. This is a great feature. Also, just a quick reminder, if you remember in TSM3 in the shopping operations, you could check that box to include in sniper searches. That's no longer a thing. You actually have to go set up sniper operations for your groups if you want them. There's been some awesome improvements to Sniper as well, in case you guys weren't aware of it. So any new items that are appearing on your Sniper window are now going to be appearing at the top rather than randomly dispersed amongst all the other auctions that are up there based on their percentage. Instead, they're just going to be at the top, so it's more meaningful. You can track the newer ones and kind of keep a closer eye on them. They've also added a neat feature too. If you come across any auctions that are up here on your Sniper window and you just don't care about them, you don't think they're a good deal, or you're just not interested in them and you want them off your Sniper window, they've now added the option here to just quickly just get anything off your window that you don't want to see. So you just click on the X and it's gone. So it's much better now with Sniper because you can just keep an eye on the top stuff because you know that that's where the new things are, and anything that you just want to get rid of it, you can just clear it off your Sniper window without having to, reset your window and wipe it clear and go again. So that's an awesome feature. I really like that. So I want to quickly just kind of explain the different types of snipers. So there's a regular sniper that you guys are all familiar with, which is the buyout sniper. This is the one that you guys have been using forever. That's on TSM3, and what that does is it looks at the last page of the auction house, which are items that are just recently posted to the auction house, the newest items posted, and it will run all of those items recently posted to the auction house against whatever your sniper string is, and if it matches the criteria of your sniper string, it's going to show up in your sniper window. So that's how that works. Now, there's been a lot of people who have been asking about bid sniper and wanting that functionality, and they finally implemented this now in TSM4. So this is something completely new, the bid sniper. So it's looking for low bid prices of items that are about to expire. So instead of items on the last page of the auction house, this is going to be items on the first page of the auction house, which are going to be the oldest items that are about to fall off the auction house. So it's going to look for cheap bid prices that match your sniper string. So it'll run the items that are about to fall off the auction house against whatever your sniper string is. If it meets that criteria, it's going to show up on bid sniper and allow you to bid on items that are just about to fall off, so you can get those good deals at the very last minute. So that's really, really cool feature. I haven't actually had a chance to use it much, but I'm really, really looking forward to using it. So I am personally most interested in the new value sources and logic functions that come with TSM4. The options are just endless here. This, of course, will be of more interest to intermediate and advanced users, but before you guys start whining because there are more advanced features available to use, doesn't mean you have to use them or that you are at some sort of great disadvantage. It just offers people more options. You can still use your old TSM3 operations and you will be just fine, and you're still going to make lots of gold. So calm down, relax, use what you know, and make an effort to learn more of what you don't know. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the new logic functions. I'm not going to get into explaining any of this stuff. I think this is going to be an entirely different video, but I think I'm talking now to people who understand what this stuff is. It's pretty straightforward and it's pretty intuitive. So these are the new logic functions here. So all of these items here on the left, and this is an explanation of what these items mean. So I think just looking at the lettering, I think it's just pretty intuitive of what it is. So just be aware that this is new stuff that you can now use, which is really awesome, and I'll get into some examples in a little bit. So those are the logic functions, And we've got some new value sources as well. So we can include region sale rate, region sold per day, expires, item quality, item level, required level. All of that stuff can now be used in operations if you want it to. It doesn't have to be, but it's there if you want to use it. So before I get into these examples, I need to give a huge shout out to Billis, the same guy who made that famous sniper string. So he's also helped me come up with some neat examples of how to showcase some of these new logic functions and value sources. So thanks, Billis, for your help. I really appreciate it. I know I used up a lot of your time, but I think the community is going to enjoy some of these examples that we're going to be showing here shortly. So the very first one is actually from Muffins, and it's from his write-up, but the rest of them are pretty much from Billis. So this first one here, all it's doing is it's rounding DBRegionMarketAvg to the nearest 1,000 gold for epic quality items, or to the nearest 1 gold otherwise. So if you have a look at this example, I guess this one's probably a bit more obvious what it's doing. So it's utilizing the new item level value source to create one operation for all your battle pets. So all it's doing is it's going to use DBRegionMarketAvg to sell all of your level 1 to level 24 battle pets, and then any battle pets that are level 25, it's going to add on 3,000 gold to your DBRegionMarketAvg. So let's look at what this example here is doing. So you can see that it's giving a value of 10,000 gold for an item level 885 item, but then it's going to be increasing that price by 20% for every 5 item levels that it goes up. So that's a way that you can take into account the increasing price for increasing item levels if you want to do it that way. Now, I'm not saying these numbers are the numbers that you're going to want to use, because look at the value that this ends up spitting out for a 955 item level item. You probably are not going to want that, so adjust your 10,000 gold and your percentage that you're going to be increasing it to suit whatever it is that you want to accomplish, but this is just the format that you use to write it. So let's have a look at this next example. So say you wanted to set a crafting operation to only craft items that have a profit above 1,000 gold, but only include items that have a DBRegionMarketAvg value greater than 250 gold. If you focus your crafting on higher value items with high profit, you will have a lot less trash items on your auction house, and your cancel scans will be much quicker as you are more focused on the good stuff. Adjust these numbers to meet your own personal thresholds. So if you wanted to extend that formula to include sale rate, keeping in mind all sale rates have to be between 0 and 1, a 0.05 sale rate means it sells 5% of the time it's posted on the auction house. So it would include all the criteria I just mentioned, plus it would also limit your crafting queues to only craft items that exceed that particular sale rate. But be careful. I know a lot of people wanted this functionality, and it's great to have the option, but sale rate can mean a lot of different things. Maybe people don't actually buy the item very often. Maybe there's a lot of competition in the market and people cancel and repost their auctions a lot. So even though sale rate is a new feature and you can use it, it doesn't mean you have to use it or you should use it. Think about what you're doing and if it makes sense for what it is you're trying to accomplish. So this last example I'm going to leave you with is a little bit more interesting. So what it's doing is it's taking into account deposit fees. So you only get them back if your auction sells. So the higher the sell rate, the less gold you'll lose on deposit fees. Let's say the sale rate is 0.1. That means on average you will lose 9 deposit fees before the item sells. So if you wanted to set up your minimum price in a way where you could recoup the gold you expect to lose on deposit fees, you could do that using this. So you can use a simple formula like 105% of crafting divided by 0.95 and apply the rest of this to account for the gold you are expected to lose on deposit fees, assuming you post your auctions for 48 hours and 48-hour listing fee is 60% vendor sell. So let's say an item has a vendor sell price of 10 gold and therefore it costs 6 gold to post. If the item has a sale rate of 0.1, this is what you get from the formula. It takes into account the deposit fees of the 9 times your auction will expire before it eventually sells. Now, if the item has a sale rate of 0.5, this is what you're going to get. Since it only takes 2 tries to sell the auction, you will only need to recoup 1 deposit fee of 6 gold. So let your minds go crazy and see what kind of stuff you guys can come up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a chance to see some of the new awesome features of TSM4. Let us know which new features of TSM you're most excited about in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.